Now the Runup shape we're going to look at is very, very, very simple. It's a straight line followed by a curve. Now I've seen some really funky interpretations of this. I've seen curve followed by straight line followed by a circle, some squares as well. We don't want that. We want to have a consistent straight line followed by a curve. Now, if we generate lots of energy around the curve, we create free energy. So the more we can lean, and obviously if we lean too much is a problem, we create lots of free energy, and that's what we want. So the important thing about when we extend that curve through here is we don't generate a plant like so. We actually plant across there. So we don't want to be parallel to the bed, because if we're parallel to the bed, we then rotate round the ankle and we create lots of stress on the ankle. So you see it in textbooks about parallel planting. We don't want parallel planting at all. We want the body to be, the foot to be pointing basically to the back corner there. It's very difficult to do, but it creates longevity of career. Now, as we come around the bend, our body is leaning away, our inside shoulder is high, and as we plant here, we create rotation from the nature of the physics of the curve. So we don't need to try to dive towards the bar. We want to emphasize jumping straight up, and the curve will take us around. And I'll show you an example of it here. So I will demonstrate rather badly a straight line followed by a curve, and watch what happens to my body. So as I take the jogging around, I plant and I automatically twist in the air. I don't try to twist, but because I come round in a curve, I create a twisted shape. So we're going to find out ways of grooving the run-up, and what we want to try to do is encourage the athlete to have freedom around the bend. So what we work on is a thing called a U-bend, and it's quite simply a U-shaped run-up. And we're going to see an example here from Jamie, and Jamie's going to probably be at about 60% of his normal speed, and he's going to work on really emphasizing the inside foot, which in Jamie's case is his right foot, as flat as possible. We don't want that to go up on the toe because we rotate around it, causing Achilles and foot problem. So, Jamie, U-bend please. Nice and simple. Flat foot, flat foot, flat foot, flat foot, flat foot, flat foot, flat foot. And we take that all the way around the bend. Now we're going to see an example from Matt, where he's going to work on working his left side as firmly as possible. Not too much speed, please, Matt. Pick up your knee. Very nice. Now I'm sure you guys at home, you can look at that, those U-bends, and you'll still pause and frame advance that plant foot and watch the rotation in that plant foot. It's extreme. Now we see an example from Tom. Okay. And again, when you guys, at your own leisure, watch the right foot. Watch how much torque is there. And I'd like to do these drills in flats rather than in spikes, because it emphasizes good foot control. Because if we're in spikes, we can get away with bad technique. Let's have a look at another example all the way through from Jamie, then Matt, then Tom. And now on to Matt. And on to Tom. So, a very simple drill. You bend around the cones. Now you're going to say, but how do I know where the cone shape is? If you stand there and you look and it makes that shape, you're basically there. You don't need to get too complicated. Obviously, people with a longer stride need a slightly wider curve, but the smaller your curve, the narrower curve, the more energy you create, but it's much harder on your body. So we want to ease into that over a period of years rather than weeks. Now we're going to look at run up onto the bed. Very simple. The athlete takes the foot, enters the curve and extends around the curve and runs up onto the bed. It also develops spatial awareness, because I like to make the starting point slightly different so the athlete gets used to the proprioception of where they are in plant. Now Matt, please. What you saw there was an example of Matt doing it slightly wrong, because Matt was actually on the wrong foot. So the next time through, Matt's brain will say, right, I need to do this, I need to change that shape. So he develops that spatial awareness. And what we saw from Tom there was a very interesting example of the natural acceleration that he has into plant. And it's something that Jamie and Matt have to work at. So let's look at now Jamie, Matt, then Tom, once again in a sequence, running onto the bed.